Rant at the Movies, a podcast where we rant about films you may have seen at house parties. I'm one of your hosts and jack of all trades, Mono, and stumbling after a car for a jar of blood is my co-host and master of none, Kira.
Oh god, yeah, and we'll probably run into the car when it stops.
Most likely.
Yeah.
If it doesn't get dropped and smashed in front of you.
Oh no,
so
I'm most
cruelly.
likely to be the person doing the dropping.
Yeah, in fairness.
Yeah. We
You are
both run into the boot of the car, be handed the blood, and then drop it.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You are the type to walk into parked cars.
Yes. Have you ever hit yourself with your own car door when you're closing it? Because
No.
I have.
Yeah, I'd imagine you have. Once again, no hints, except for the episode title.
Yeah.
But we are talking Night Watch, 2004's insane Russian
Fantasy, urban, alternate reality, more.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in
pretty.
Night Watch. But yeah, it is very, very pretty. And ridiculously good fun.
And it kind of melts your brain the way the Japanese levels used to in Burnout Revenge.
I don't know if that's quite that insane.
Well, not when you're boosting.
I don't feel like I'm travelling into the future when I'm watching this film.
Yeah, but a little bit with the boost on the
the ambulance thing.
It's a mini-mog.
It is a mini-mog.
Yeah.
But it's decked out like some kind of ambulance.
Yeah, no, it's the power supply company, so they have for fixing the power supplies.
Yeah.
We have them here. The ESB has the mini-mogs.
This is true.
Yeah.
Moment of stupidity there.
It does look like an ambulance just because it's big and boxy, and it's what us ignorant Europeans think a Russian ambulance would look like.
Well, we have yellow ambulances.
Yeah, we do.
That's why I thought it was a fucking ambulance. The whole power company connection, that makes absolute sense, but it just wasn't there for me. I just saw a big yellow square boxy ambulance.
And it seems like something Simone would drive.
Well, plus, if they're booting it around the city like they do...
Sirens.
Yeah. So,
power company. Get into more places, though.
I think we're getting bogged down a bit unnecessarily and quite early.
Yeah.
But no, it is. It's a really, really fun film. And in a shocking twist, the dubbing on this is actually really fucking good.
That's because they all did the dubbing. The main cast. The main cast did the dubbing, and it makes a huge difference because it's translated more.
It seems to be translated better.
Yeah, it sometimes with subtitles it's a literal translation and it makes no sense.
Yeah, but
so this is more in the gist of what they're trying to say.
Yeah, but normally if you're watching dubbed and subtitled at the same time, the subtitles
one is always off.
Well, the subtitles will make more sense contextually for what's happening on screen, but in this, the dubs actually seem to be. There are times when I was reading the subtitles going, "What?" But
yeah,
the dubbing, it's like, "Oh, right."
It's a literal translation, and that doesn't work with certain languages in terms of phrase and things like that.
Yeah. So for once, you can watch it dubbed.
Yeah,
you have our permission to watch it dubbed. Before we get bogged down on anything else, shall we go for a summary this time?
It might help the situation.
Yeah, it's a little bit complicated.
Just a tad.
In modern Russia, the Night Watch and Day Watch uphold the ancient truce and keep the balance between the supernaturally gifted, light and dark others. But when Seer Anton is sent to bring in a vampire who is hunting illegally, he encounters a young woman showing signs of being dangerously cursed. After botching the hunt and endangering the truce, Anton discovers the balance between light and dark is also threatened, as the cursed woman could be the sign of an ancient prophecy of doom. Doom.
It's a scotch complicated.
That's as simple as I could make it.
It's a scotch complicated, but that's because it comes from a series of novels, which in and of themselves are incredibly complex. Each novel is 3 stories.
That seem completely separate.
That, as the course of, I think there's now 5 or 6 books. I didn't realise.
I was aware of the first 4.
Yeah, I have
yesterday.
the first 4. And the stories are all separate, but as the general story itself moves forward, they all start to interconnect.
Yeah.
It's really complex. The movie itself is based only on one story from the first book.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job of encapsulating it for a movie.
Yeah, they did just take those bits of that story, because all 3 stories also run concurrently through the novel.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like here's book 1, book 2, or part A, part B, part C.
Well,
there is a little bit, but there is also bleed through.
Yeah. Oh, and they are absolutely amazing books, by the way.
Well worth a read. Well worth a read.
And not just, I've often seen it referred to as like Russian Harry Potter.
No, it's really...
It's way more than that. It's way more, it's way different. I think the only thing it has in common is author with problematic views for the modern day.
Yes.
Because as I discovered recently, Sergei Lukyanenko, however you pronounce it, looking back on the books, has some... Issues, shall we say, with Ukraine. He has some quite strong anti-Ukrainian views that they cut out of the film. And given that we're covering this in 2022, probably good that they cut those anti-Ukrainian bits out of the plot.
Yeah.
And J.K. Rowling's a cunt.
Oh, God. Yeah, she's a horrible person.
But yeah, no, the film does a really good job of, I won't say simplifying it.
No, they did manage to kind of like tease out what was important to the main core story. Because that's the core story that everything else kind of loops out of and into, and those are the key players throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And you get a really good introduction to all of them and what they're like and the feud and how deep it goes and how base it is. But then at the top of it, you've got Gieser on the side of the light and I've forgotten his fucking name.
Zabulon.
Thank you. On the side of the dark, and they're just having this insane chess match.
Yeah, character-wise, I would say it's a bit like Fallen from a few weeks ago, where you don't get a huge amount from the supporting characters. They're just kind of like, it's their interaction. Well, not one note, but it is their interactions with our main character, kind of Anton. We don't get an awful lot for them, but the story is so, like, the narrative is so strong that you don't need a huge amount of backstory for, like, Tiger Cub and Bear and Semyon and
I do enjoy
Zabulon's hench people.
Yeah, I do enjoy Semyon in the apartment. Being like, what's this do? Just going around touching things.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not saying the characters are crap or anything, like, because I really enjoyed the characters in Fallen as well. That was why I drew that comparison. That they're not...
No, yeah, but they don't
have a lot of backstory or anything.
They're there, they exist, they're in this world. It makes this world believable.
Yeah. That
they're just kind of going around, they're, this is their day to day.
Yeah, we don't get a huge amount of backstory for them, or like there is a big whole exposition dump at the start to kind of set everything up, but it's not like they're like, this is who this is and this is who this is and they work in that department and this is how the departments work. It's just you kind of pick it up as you go along.
Yeah, there are others. These are people who can use magic, and because of this they can move in these like lower levels of reality. Yeah,
they call it the gloom in this, but it's the twilight in the books.
Yeah, I can understand why they made the change. But basically, you're either inclined towards the light and helping people, or you're inclined towards the dark and kind of being more selfish in your own needs first. Seems to be the main...
The important thing is that you are allowed to choose when you realise that you're another. That's the part of the truce, is that nobody can be pushed to one side or the other. Yeah, you can't
be overly influenced. And it's like these two armies meeting on a bridge and neither will yield. And there's this poor bastard stuck on the middle with a goat.
Yeah, he's just trying to go to market.
Yeah, he's like, I've got a goat and a bale of hay.
Yeah, like, and the forces of light and dark are having a giant battle all around me.
Yeah, and he's just gobsmacked, can't really go anywhere. You're one, I think, the witch who's being escorted.
I said that. I want to know her story. She's surrounded by hundreds of light soldiers, and she's got chains all over the place, and nobody's anywhere near her. Like they're all at a safe distance. I'm like, I want to know what she did.
I actually didn't notice. Did they shave her head and bind her hands? Because that's what they do in the books to a witch. Because then she can't use any like natural part. She can't use her hands, and then like their hair, they can use as talismans. I think.
No, she had hair anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she was fairly well bound.
That is a really nice introduction scene as well on that bridge.
The opening scene, it's fantastic. The visuals in this film are top notch, and still, with the exception of maybe 2 shots, are still top notch.
Yeah.
They're really, really well, and not just the CGI, the camera work, the editing, all of it. It's just such a pretty film. There's
a lot of the flicker work editing, especially when they're moving through the gloom.
Yeah.
That kind of stilted shutter speed almost.
Yeah, they play with...
it's what I always associate with really like industrial metal videos and like a lot of 9 Inch Nails and things like
definitely has that sensibility
and
to
it gives you this kind of, when they're moving through the gloom, it gives you the sense that you're missing stuff because you can't keep up with what they're doing.
Yeah,
by them being in this atmosphere, you as not being an other and just observing this are missing key components.
Yeah, it's clear that time moves very differently in the gloom as well, and like the longer they stay in it,
it starts to draw out their energy, and they start to go weird and stony.
But sorry, back to the opening scene, that battle, it's fucking great, and particularly the end with that poor bastard.
Oh, who has to hear the truth because he's the mortal.
Yeah.
So they whisper, there's one on either side whispering this to him as he ages rapidly.
Yeah, it's
fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark shit.
And again, the effects on that are really, really well done.
I love that scene because if you watch the whole film and then go back and watch that again, the entire cast are in that.
Yeah.
On both sides, and it does give you know that the two kind of generals are supposed to be incredibly old and powerful, but it gives you the sense that others are also incredibly long-lived in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And have seen some shit, and you get the story again from Simeon talking about stepping on a landmine.
Yeah, in World War II.
In World War II, and that was ground shaking.
Yeah, and I like that they leave it very vague in terms of kind of what their powers are. We know Anton is a seer; he gets visions. And he has no choice over what those visions are.
Yeah, and he can influence. He's being used to hunt a vampire because he can tap into.
Yeah, seems to be part of his power that he can.
This siren call that they have. This come little children.
And we know there's two shapeshifters.
Yeah.
We see one of them shapeshift, and that's all we see. But we know enough to know. Okay, and then there's like vampires, but we don't really know what the other dark others are.
No,
because they're not all vampires. We see a witch. But yeah, I like how it's kind of vague.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of whatever you get on one side, you get a dark version of it. Like there has to be a balance. That's the whole point. So I don't know where the balance is for the vampires.
I would say it's the shapeshifters.
No, because you get shifters on the other side. At least in the books, you get shifters on the other side because that's. But it's when you go into the gloom for the first time, you get to choose.
Or it's chosen for you, kind
based
of.
on it, yeah.
But yeah, I do. I like the vagueness because they could very easily go over explaining in this film.
No, they leave it very much kind of like there's an affiliation, but it's an affiliation, which means there's wiggle room.
Yeah, and not every other is in either watch.
No.
They are the watches are effectively the police for one side versus the other side.
Yeah, so to maintain the truce and the balance.
Yeah, they have this watch and then they are the ones that we follow. We see a couple of others. Obviously the vampire that Anton's hunting is not a member of the watch, he's just a dark brother. And his neighbour.
Oh, Constantine,
who's great fun. Is also a vampire, but not a member of the watch.
He has a face you want to slap.
He does have a very slappable face.
There's one bit where he's having a bit. Well, it's an understandable hissy fit, but
yeah. But he's another one of those characters where you get just enough of him in terms of we know he's Anton's neighbour. He's a vampire.
Yeah, they live.
Anton's fond of him.
Yeah, they have this weird kind of friendship because he's still quite young. He hasn't eaten anybody yet.
Yeah.
Because I think they have to have human blood every once in a while. But they can sustain on other things. It's just an oil change kind of thing.
Yeah. But Kostya's a fun character.
Yeah.
I suppose we should talk about Anton, our main character.
Yeah, Anton, when you meet him for the first time, it's 1992, and he's wearing a glorious Cosby sweater.
Well, the sweater is glorious. Cosby
he is not.
Also a cunt.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's very clearly a 1990s knitted jumper.
Oh, it's an Aaron.
But yeah, he's off to visit a witch in the first scene. Well, the first scene after the battle,
where you get your kind of story proper. Yeah, no. So he basically, you see him knocking on a door in a lovely Russian apartment building in Moscow, and you get to follow through. You get to follow a little fly going through the doorbell. Yeah, which is really weird.
Well, they use the fly a lot when they're kind of coming in and out of the gloom.
Yeah, as a marker.
Indicate that. Yeah.
But basically he's like, hi, I saw your ad. And she's like, have you got a picture? And he pulls out a picture and she's like, let me see it. She hasn't opened the door, by the way. At this point, she's got one of those little Watchmen slot things that's password.
Yeah.
1992 Moscow, of course you're going to have one of those.
I wouldn't fuck with her. I mean, even witch or no, I wouldn't fuck with that old lady. She looks dangerous.
Yeah, no, she will batter you with a frying pan.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. And not the Hoover.
Or a cleaver, I was going to say.
No, you know that she can one-hand a fucking vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, so he's kind of like, here's the photo. She's like, no, give it to me. So he kind of passes it through the little slot thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. And then she basically is like, come in. Yeah. And then like glares around the hallway and closes the door and tells him to go into the kitchen because everywhere else is messy. He goes to the window and kind of like looks out, and you can see the electrical van sitting there, and the three of them are sitting on the bonnet watching.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point he's just some guy. We find out his missus has left him for another man, and he's effectively there for
to get her back.
He's there to get her back. She says, well, she's also got a child from another man, so we'll need to sort that out too, and makes a point of saying that's a big thing. Yeah, you need to take this in on yourself.
Taking off a completely innocent life.
Yeah, so he agrees to take this in upon himself, and she does the first part of the spell to make her want to leave the new fella, and then as she's doing the second part of the spell to kill the child, the three guys burst in.
He's already kind of starting to be really apprehensive about it.
Yeah, he starts to say like, no,
chanting,
stop.
And she's making these crushing motions with her hands.
Yeah.
And you can almost feel this, she has almost something there, and she is crushing it and screwing it up, and just, it's very visceral.
But yeah, Anton kind of...
He's already gone, no,
in a bit of a daze and starting to say, no, stop. And then the three guys burst in.
And grab her hand. They're like, grab her hand. Don't let her clap.
But you can't see them bursting in.
And she's just struggling.
Yeah, flying around the room, and then she falls to the floor, and her hands are like flat out on the floor, and you can hear people saying, hold her, don't let her hands clap. And then... one of them kicks the chair Anton's on and smashes him into the wall and knocks him into the gloom, and he can suddenly see the two, and it's Simeon and Bear who are holding her down, so she is fucking strong. Yep.
Two big ass guys are laying on this little old lady, and she is fighting them off, and she gets her hands free.
Yeah.
And good old Tiger Cub appears and goes for the skillet of bacon grease that's been on the stove.
Yeah, cue our first bad bit of CG in her face. Her face goes kind of tigery.
Yeah, but then when you actually see her as a tiger,
it's done quite well. Yeah.
And then she drops uses the frying pan to stop her clapping.
Yeah.
So she burns her shit out both her hands.
But yeah, when we get our kind of introduction to the others, and that Anton can see what's going on, and he asks them what they're doing there, and they're like, oh shit, he can see us. He must be another two. And basically then after that, you get cut to 12 years later?
Yeah.
And it's worth noting that in that scene where Anton has had the love of his life leave him, and he's supposed to be at, like, I assume, one of his lowest ebbs, it's the best he looks in the entire film.
Oh god, he is a wreck of a man.
Because Tom Hardy in Venom could learn a few things from Anton.
I do have a soft spot for Tom Hardy in Venom just looking like a wreck of a human as the movie goes on. But Anton starts.
Yeah. And only gets worse.
Yeah.
He is a complete
he looks like he's
mess.
in perpetual need of a shower.
Oh yeah.
Like he's just, he does not care anymore.
No, that's it. As the film goes on and you get more from him, you see that he's kind of fed up with his position. He's
annoyed with everything that's going on. Like everybody has got machinations in the works.
Yeah, and you find out kind of as it wears on that
it's
these
intrigue
are the things that
upon political ploy upon, like they're always trying to, the two powers that be are always trying to kind of like one up each other and pick at each other, and
but
they
you don't
poke at each other because they can't really do too much damage to each other essentially.
Yeah, but you don't know that at the start. You just see Anton as this mess, and then as it goes on you start to realise, oh no, actually he's kind of fed up with the system.
Yeah. He can see the hypocrisy.
He can see, and he can see the grey. Obviously, he's got a neighbour who is a vampire who he's quite fond of. And there's an issue, as you said, the three guys are waiting outside the apartment when Anton goes to see the witch. And she accuses them of using live bait.
Yeah.
And that's an issue then again, a couple of times when Anton goes to hunt the vampire, they accuse him of using live bait once or twice.
Yeah.
And Anton, even later on in the film, accuses kind of himself and his own side of that exact thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of bending of the rules on the side of light. Because just because you're inclined towards the light doesn't mean you're necessarily a good person.
No, and they don't delve into it
It's not as clear as
outwardly.
good and evil. It is very much just kind of like which way you lean on that day when you're in the gloom.
Yeah, and they don't delve into that too much in the film, but I like how they do leave it really open that as it goes on, you too can see the hypocrisy that Anton is fed up with, and they don't try and show. You know, when some films would be like, oh, the bad guys, or sorry, the good guys are also kind of bad like the bad guys, but they're still the good guys.
No, they don't really do this.
They don't sugarcoat it that way.
No, they're two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, they nearly are, and I like how they kind of bring that out as the film goes along.
Yeah, poor Anton.
But yeah, no, he's a mess.
He's a
but
mess.
he still wants to do good, as it were, or what he sees as good at least.
Watching him stumble around through life makes you kind of feel not so bad.
Oh, it's a thing of beauty, and one of my favourite scenes in the film is early on.
In the subway station when he's stopped by the guards?
Yeah, he's stopped by two like subway cops and metro cops.
I think they're just normal police.
Well, they are police anyway, and you're kind of... In any other film like this where you'd have a superpowered being for whatever reason, and he's the hero of the story, if he gets stopped by the authorities, you're like, oh, these authorities are going to get smacked down.
No,
and they start abusing
Anton.
Yeah, they start abusing Anton and accusing him of being drunk during the day, and
to be honest, he is.
Yeah, they try and give him a ticket for being drunk and disorderly and go to arrest him. And as they're doing it, he just like kind of lurches forward and throws up over the railing down into the subway, like into the steps of the subway.
Yeah, it's all down the wall.
Pukes up blood. And the cops are just so disgusted they just leave him alone.
Yeah. Poor Anton.
It's great.
He's such a mess. He's our hero.
But you want him to succeed.
You do. Well, it's
Mostly.
either he's going to succeed or it's all going to end horribly.
Yeah, and I mean,
squelch.
He is a bit of an asshole, so that's probably why we like him too.
Yeah, he is kind of a dick.
Because there's that other bit on the subway where a guy is like, you're pretty wasted, aren't you? I bet you feel like shit. And Anton tells him that he wants to bite his fucking ear off.
Again, Moscow subway.
Yeah. I suppose.
Would apply in New York.
Yeah, I suppose he's lucky that he didn't actually bite his ear off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so that's our Anton.
God love him.
Yeah. We should point out that it is Konstantin. Oh, I'm going to have trouble with this one. Oh, it's not too bad, I think. Kavensky. A lot of people would know him from Wanted.
Yes, he's the guy with the rats.
Yeah, he's the guy with the rats in
Wanted.
Wanted.
Exterminator. He's amazing. I love him.
Yeah, the same director, only this is a far superior film, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wanted's not great.
Yeah, well, he did this and Daywatch.
Yeah.
And then instead of doing Twilight Watch, did Wanted.
Yeah, well, he went off to Hollywood and did Wanted, and then apparently decided
that he didn't want to
having
do
done Wanted, that it was basically what he wanted to do with Twilight Watch, so he wasn't going to do anything.
My favourite bit of Wanted, because I've watched it and it's a piece of shit, is Chris Pratt getting hit in the face with the keyboard.
Yes.
In particular because it's Chris Pratt.
Oh, absolutely.
And him and the little rats with the watches on. I know they all end up blowing up and it makes me super fucking sad. But he's just, when he's got the rats, it's so sweet.
But
also, he's just he's only in it for like a really short amount, a really, really tiny part, but he's so fun and adorable.
But a night watch, day watch film, it is not.
No. He's not as much of a mess in the second one.
No, he's not. He has his shit together a bit more.
Just
Wanted is not an acceptable compromise for getting the final film in this trilogy.
No.
Not at all.
Unsatisfactory.
Yeah. But yeah, then apart from Anton, we have Gesser.
Who's Lord of the Light.
Lord of the Light and in charge.
Yeah, and does some really weird, freaky shit.
Yeah, he's got some fun scenes.
Yeah.
Particularly the kind of eye-to-eye one with Anton.
Oh, the show me what you saw, and then he's like got a belt and he's strapped both their heads together so they can't get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, while he's also kind of lying on the table bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really fun scene. And there's a little bit of animation that follows as well, the kind of animated prophecy sequence.
Oh, yeah, because he had been drawing
well
that with his pen on the side of the book when he gets the phone call, and then he covers it up.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the kind of...
He's the boss's boss's boss.
Yeah,
boss.
he's the sympathetic yet stern kind of boss. Like, he talks about how he kind of understands and cares for them, and Anton is like, nah, you don't. You just sit up here. Yeah, you just sit up here in your office.
You don't love me.
You don't know what it's really like out there on the streets, man.
What's the 12.5 million?
No, it's 13 and a half. It's the 13.5 million. 12 jurors, one judge, half a chance.
You wouldn't know, man. I just wanted to get to know your tattoos.
Every Birdman reference for nobody. But yeah, no, Geezer's fun. I think because he's such an amazing character in the book, I'm disappointed out of what I get from him in this film.
But you don't get that character until a lot later.
Yeah.
And at the start, he is still kind of very much the stoic boss.
Yeah.
Who is kind of caring, but also will reprimand them when
he's
need
also
be.
Yeah, he's also the man. So Anton needs somebody to rail against. So,
yeah.
So Gesser's the man kind of thing. Like, cause he's the loose cannon who doesn't follow procedures. He won't go into the gloom to arrest the vampire. He fights him instead, which leads to an amazing fight scene.
And he's got a flashlight for a weapon.
Yeah. But then apart from Gesser, you have Bear, Semyon and Tiger Cub, who we've already mentioned, who are kind of
they're
the field team. They're mostly backing Anton up in this because Anton is necessary for all the plot stuff that's happening.
Yeah, but they're kind of,
You assume like, they're senior to him, though?
I think they're just they have more experience. He's still relatively young in their world.
Well, also that you get the impression that this is Anton's kind of, if not first, one of his first times in the field.
Yeah. So they are kind of like looking after him and looking out for him. They've given him like a good backup team. He'll move in.
Yeah, so if they're not like senior, certainly more experienced.
Yeah, definitely more experienced than him.
And then he gets an even more specific partner later on in the film in Olga. And she's fun, but I don't want to spoil too much about her.
Olga is great. I really, really enjoy Olga. I think they got her character down well.
So well. You don't get any of her history because her history is so interesting in the books.
Yeah. But her character and the way she is in the books is there.
Yeah, her personality is there.
Straight from the get-go. Anton is as well, actually, because Anton's a grumpy bastard.
Oh, he is, yeah.
He's the Eeyore of the fucking group. Like,
we're making Winnie the Pooh comparisons to this
fucking film, oh, well.
So who's everybody else
like his fucking, like, something shitty happens to him, like his tail falls off, and he's just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, oh, well. Of course, it would only happen to me.
Well, I was going to say who's Tigger, but obviously it's Tiger Cub. So who's Piglet?
Kostya? Yeah.
I can see Kostya as Piglet.
Yeah, well, he's also like his little...
And I mean...
He's run around trying to be good. Well, not trying to be good, but like he's...
Is Bear Winnie?
I have no idea. I've given up at this point. I don't think it works.
No, it doesn't. At all. That was what I was trying to illustrate.
Well, the whole he's an Eeyore is just everything is... He's just so hard done by.
Oh,
by everything. He's just so put upon. By having to do all of this.
But at the same time...
But he wants to do it, but he's just...
But he's absolutely getting in his own way the whole time.
He just cannot do it right. Like, he really doesn't help himself.
So it's probably for the best that he has effectively 4 people whose sole job is to back him up in the movie.
Basically look after him. They're like... He in this is supposed to act like a bloodhound. He's supposed to track. He's not supposed to be the one going in, because that's when he goes into the place. They're like, no, don't go in, wait for us. And
you're just supposed to be tracking him,
and he
not
goes
actually capturing
off,
him.
And they're like on the other side of the city and are like, what the fuck, you dick.
We're back to talking about Anton again.
I know. That's because he's just so fucking hilariously bad at doing the thing he's trying to do. Yeah,
he's bad at his job and he's bad at being another.
Yeah.
But then on the opposing side you have...
It's so much fun because it's basically like if any of us tried to do any of this stuff.
Yes, absolutely. He's... And that's...
And he's too scared to ask, like, a quiet, like, it's that kind of thing when you're in work and you're like, I fucked up.
It's, to go back to the Wanted thing for a second, it's kind of what James McAvoy's character is in Wanted. He's the guy with the natural talent who's just been inducted who keeps fucking it up. Only Anton's been at it for 12 years.
Yeah.
And he's still fucking it up.
Because he doesn't listen to anybody.
But then on your opposing side, you've got Zavulon, who is kind of the head honcho of the Daywatch. He doesn't feature much in it till towards the end.
He's good fun.
He is. He's great fun, but I won't speak too much on him. But
I like his little hat.
His hat and his hair
and
are
his
amazing.
Dog,
but
the big Doberman.
You kind of hinted at the fact that this is one of those films where you pick up things on subsequent watches.
Yeah.
And almost every time Zavulon appears early on, you're like, You're not kind of like, huh, why is he there? But when he appears early on, it seems innocuous. But when you watch it back, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then his underlings are Alice or Alyssa and Ignat is the character name. It's never said out loud what his name is. When I went into IMDb, I was like, Ignat? Oh, right, fair enough.
Oh my god, in his tracksuit with his furry hat and the gold chains. I love him.
The fashion of the Dark Others in this is fucking hilarious. They all have funny hats. They all have like they
all have flashy cars. They all have like the jiggery. It's very
and they're
fun.
all in the tracksuits. they're all except for her. The guys are all in tracksuits.
They're all in the tracksuits.
She's a pop star.
She actually is a pop star.
Well, the actress is a pop star,
yeah, that's her
but
band.
they work it in that. But again, it kind of makes sense that they're like, oh well.
Yeah, well, there's some great bits in the books when they're talking about how like some of the Dark Others, they can use these things called glamours to make themselves look more attractive, but they can only work in runway shows because it doesn't translate into print.
Yeah,
so there's downsides to it. It's like the same. They were saying like you can use it to like make you sound better, but it won't sound the same on recordings.
Yeah.
So there is downsides to using it to your benefit. So she's naturally very talented.
And her band are the band that she's in Russia. Yeah. I do have the name of it somewhere. I probably butcher the name of the band anyway. Where is it? Oh fuck! I'm not even going to attempt that.
No.
No. Look it up. Look it up.
Pop?
They are, some pop band. Her name is Zana Frisk, and I am not even gonna look at that.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it. Not a hope in hell.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm sure they're very good and they're very popular, and no, I'm not even going to attempt pronouncing that.
But yeah, she's very glamorous
and a bit of a bitch because she's the one who drops the aforementioned jar of blood.
Because then she'll go and sniff it out.
Oh, I understand her reasoning. It doesn't make her any less mean. Even Ignat's like, that's a bit cruel.
She's like, fuck it, that's why he got me to come and do your job.
Yeah, true.
Like, you need somebody to be mean and you are not mean.
Yeah, and she does very much seem to be Zabulon's second in command, certainly in what we see in the film.
Yeah, she seems to be Night Watch, or she's Day Watch.
Yeah.
So she does seem to have some clout and some machinations of her own, because they all do.
Yeah, they all seem to have kind of their own plans. One of the things I do like, though, is there's a scene where the Day Watch and the Night Watch meet early enough on in the film. And they're nothing but antagonistic assholes to one another, and I love it. It's like that kind of FBI versus local cops thing, except they are literally on opposing sides. And they seem
Is it that episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine where they're doing the field training? And they're all up against the other districts.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
And they're all like shitting on and ripping on each other.
Except they're on literal opposing sides of good and evil, but they are acting like that. They're like, oh, mind we don't run over your car, your pretty little car there. Yeah. And it's just
they're actually trying to arrest Anton at that point, and they're just like, no.
They just ignore it. Absolutely ignore it. They're like, sorry, we're busy and I can't hear you over the engine.
Yeah, and it's like, the Night Watch are actually kind of assholes. Like, just because you think you guys are like good, you're not really. Like, it doesn't mean the rules don't apply. Yeah,
but I do. I love that the interaction between them, the way it is, and again, that's something from the books where it's like they're supposed to be the police, but really they're more concerned with one-upping each other than actually policing.
Yeah, because everything they seem to be involved in that's not like actively recruiting, finding and recruiting others is, I was going to say others. It just seems to be, like, at least in the books, it just seems to be all random plots of both Gesser and Zabulon.
Well, the only...
Like, who just appear to be kind of bored and are using Anton as their own personal Job.
Yeah. And apart from the cursed girl, who I know we haven't mentioned at all since the summary in, like, fucking 30 minutes or whatever. She does show up, but it... Not wanting to be spoilery, we can't really talk an awful lot about her. But,
although when you meet her on the subway, it is hilarious.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious. But apart from them trying to figure out what's happening with her, the only other Night Watch operations we see could both be considered as setups or stings. Because both times they're accused of using live bait. We don't see any Day Watch operations as such.
Yeah.
And it seems like Day Watch are maybe a little more by the book than Night Watch.
Yeah, possibly because they are reviewed more stringently.
and that's an issue that kind of comes up a couple of times when you get into the fact that the vampire isn't in trouble because he's hunting, it's because he's hunting illegally.
Yeah.
He got a license to turn one girl and they've gone and kidnapped a boy. Yeah. And that's the problem. and I like that they play with that. It's like, no, we'll issue you a license to kill and drink somebody's blood, but you can only do it to that person.
No, they issued him a license to turn.
To turn, sorry, yeah. But similarly, they also would have issued a license to drink somebody.
Yeah, the vampires really get the raw fucking deal in this.
Yeah, oh yeah, they because you don't necessarily get a choice in being another or what type of other you are. You become a vampire and then you're told, here's a whole lot of rules you have to obey.
Yeah, I think the vampires might be a little bit different. I'm not 100%. But you do feel for them.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're definitely not the evil vampires of other vampire stories by any means.
I do like his dad too.
I can't remember his name. But yeah, he works as a butcher and he gives Anton some pig's blood at the start.
He kind of looks a little bit like the worm in The Corpse Bride.
I don't remember The Corpse Bride that well, but I'm sure that's not a favourable comparison.
No. He also looks a little bit like a melted Steve Buscemi.
He kind of does.
Yeah.
But no, I like him, and I think he comes back in the second film.
Yeah. He's actually in a lot of Russian stuff. Himself and the guy who plays Zavilon have been in a ton of things together. I was flicking down through their IMDb's. Not that I could understand any of it, but I just kept seeing them.
One of the things in the trivia was like, there was another film we covered recently where like half of the trivia were like, so-and-so's first role, so-and-so's first role, so-and-so's first role.
Yeah. Although I do like how they used, you find out that his torch, he has like all these different bulbs for it, is actually an effective weapon when he uses it on her. On the lady vampire. Yeah, because her skin all starts to bubble.
He's told early on, early on in the hunt, don't forget to bring your weapon, and he just pulls out a torch.
And you're like,
You're like, what? And then you see it being used, and you're like, oh right.
Ew.
That fight scene
in the
hairdressers. Oh, it's so good. It's just so pretty and it's so inventive.
I like how they move in and out, and they can't even really see each other. Because just because you're in the gloom with somebody else doesn't mean you're on the same level of the gloom as them.
Yeah, they don't really go into it so much. And you can move up and
down through different levels as well.
Yeah, they don't really go into it too much in this.
But you do get the sense of that in that fight scene, that there's bits where he is in the gloom and he still can't see the other guy.
Well, no, he doesn't go into the gloom in that fight scene.
Yeah, he won't.
That's the whole point. Yeah, he keeps trying to not go into the gloom. And that's why he gets his ass handed to him.
Yes, he does.
But that's a really fun scene, and the way they use glass and mirrors is really fun in and around the gloom. When characters go into the gloom, we can't see them, but we can see them in the reflection as they pass through.
Yeah.
And only in reflection.
So he's trying his best to keep a mirror or something near him.
Yeah, so that he can kind of look into the gloom through the mirror. But yeah, no, that's a beautiful fight scene. I love the kind of vein shots they use as well, where there'll be a person and they just kind of disappear and you can just see like their vein structure or their central nervous system. Really pretty stuff.
You get some of the stuff like that when they're in the gloom, when they go in later on and they're trying to get your man out.
Yeah.
And you see it then where you can see almost like the pulses moving through them.
That's the best gloom scene in the film.
Yeah.
Is when they're trying to pull Igor out. Another person I know we haven't mentioned, that's the boy that's being hunted.
Seduced.
Lured.
Lured me, Papa.
There it is. You cannot say that word without saying that quote.
No, he lured me. Wanted to show me his Wilhelm.
But yeah, no, that later gloom scene is
hello,
fantastic.
razor. Hello, aftershave.
Oh.
But yeah, no, the anytime they go into the gloom, it is done in a really beautiful, very subtle way.
Yeah.
That when you get fight sequences or action sequences where they're moving in and out of it, it's very hard to tell what reality they're in.
Yeah, and it's not...
You have to kind of search for it. It's easy to understand why Anton, for the first time when he's in it, is like, who are you people? Why am I here? Like, he doesn't... It's almost like a dream kind of version of reality. Everything, it's the same, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not like what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago where the choppy editing makes it so that you can't see what's going on either when they are having the fight scenes or where they are in the gloom and it's choppy like that. It adds an effect as opposed to making things...
Yeah. In particular, when you see I love the vampire's hand with the scissors, when he twirls the scissors and you hear the noise of the blades opening.
Yeah.
It's just a little moment that'll be longer, but then there'll be 3 or 4 very quick cut of him moving.
Yeah, it's
little jabs, but it also illustrates just how fast the vampires are and how weird this time is, and that time moves different in the gloom. And because you've got somebody who's like in like the real world essentially.
You know, that's what I mean. It's not like the quick cuts in Transformers where you can't see what's going on, or the fight scenes in Batman Begin where it's cut to shit.
Yeah.
If you can't see something that's happening, you're not supposed to be able to see it. It's not like I don't think it's bad editing. I think it's all edited so nicely and tightly together and really adds to the overall effect of either when they're in the gloom of that kind of unease and real uncertainty, or when they're in the real world and there's kind of action stuff that fast and frantic pace. It's just I can't. The editing and the camera work and the visuals together are so good.
The gloom is very kind of grey saturated. Everything's got, you can feel like everything, it's almost like everything's foggy. Yeah. It's that kind of very pale grey saturation over everything, whereas everything in the real world is obviously like bright colours or neon.
It's a lot more neon, because there's still a lot of dark tones and a lot of it's at night.
A lot of it does happen to be at night because they are the night watch, and that's when the dark ones are kind of more active.
But there's an awful lot of neons and bright electric lights, which again, because they are the light company. Yeah. But also their front is a light company.
You get a lot of street lights, crosswalk signs, things like that, and you get the buzzing. A lot of the times, that little ever so faint buzzing.
Yeah, the sound editing is fantastic in this as well, actually.
It's just enough that every now and again it'll get a little bit higher pitched when something's about to happen or something's happening, but it's always kind of there in the real world. Yeah.
How about things we didn't like? Is there any? Apart from the 1 or 2 dodgy bits of CGI. We mentioned the tiger face and there's a dodgy explosion later on in the film.
Yeah, no, just blow up a miniature.
Yeah, just blow up miniatures.
It always looks better, just blow up a fucking miniature.
Yes, CGI fire and CGI explosions look shit.
There was some bits that kind of went over my head, but I think that's just some cultural things.
Yeah.
All in all, like, I do enjoy it the whole way through. I could be picky about some things. Like, I just feel like sometimes some bits were a little bit overrated or overacted. But on the whole, I enjoy this film. I thoroughly enjoy this film. It's a movie that I do rewatch an awful lot. It's a series of books I rewatch or I reread a lot. I like this kind of urban fantasy, alternate reality kind of thing. Anyway, and this hits all those buttons for me.
For me as well, I don't think there's much that I dislike. There's 1 or 2 narrative bits. I know I did comment on how I liked how vague certain things are left, but there are times where they're a bit too vague, and I was a bit like, am I stupid for not copying what's going on, or is this just vague? And there was once or twice where I asked you, I was like, is this what this bit's supposed to mean? I'm not sure.
It's kind of hard for me to separate the movie from the book because
we've read the books.
Well, also I don't know which one I got first.
We watched the movie first,
I think,
but then we read all the books. We got
I managed to get my hands on like all of them at the same time.
And it's kind of hard to remember.
Which bits actually happen in the books and which bits happen in the film. But the film stands up on its own as just a really strong fantasy story.
Oh yeah, and I don't mean to like compare it in a negative way and be like one of those people who's like, oh, the book is better. They are different entities. Yeah. And I really enjoy what and how they adapted the Night Watch books into the Night Watch movie. They did a fantastic job because they're so complicated.
Yeah, they picked the best story out of it because it is that core story. And everything else spirals off that. And it's the first story in the book as well. So it is going to be your introduction. And because you're getting to see it as Anton... Yeah. Well, you're just following him and you've seen what 10 years in the Night Watch has done to him because he is fucking haggard. Yeah. You kind of got to wonder about the other people who've been doing it who seem to be immortal. Like, what do they know that we don't?
And the books kind of go into that where you get stories in the books that aren't following any of these characters. Yeah. They're new characters and sometimes they're really important and sometimes they're just a moment, an event in the life of another other. Yeah.
No, it's really, it's the key story in the whole thing. And it's the key relationships within the whole thing. And especially Anton and Gesser, the kind of weird camaraderie, mentor, fucking Mr. Miyagi, fucking Karate Kid shit of it all.
It doesn't come across too much in this, but they develop it a bit in Daywatch, I think.
You kind of get like a fatherly feel off Gesser towards Anton when he's
and he's definitely very concerned about him, yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't really shield him from Zabulon when they have their occurrences.
Yeah.
And he has this bizarre relationship as well with, you know, the head of the other side. So he very much exists within this grey space. And throughout the whole novel series, the grey space is where he plays a lot.
Yeah.
And having him be the focus of the story of the one who's not all the way left or all the way right.
Yeah.
He's kind of floating about there in the middle and trying to muddle his way through the best he can. That in and of itself is a brilliant story without there having to be magic and stuff involved. That just makes it stupid fun.
Yeah, there's times where this film has kind of a sci-fi feel to it.
Yeah, in terms of the moral kind of backdrop on it, because that is something you get a lot more in sci-fi than in fantasy.
Yeah, certainly more.
The moral questioning.
Yeah, you can get that a lot. And there are times where it feels like a detective story.
Yeah.
And I like that
it's also got a bit of a Blade Runner flair to it.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on.
At the very least, there is a stylistic take from Blade
definitely,
Runner.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that it has all these different feels to it at different parts, and sometimes the whole way through. And yeah, it's not just an urban fantasy or a modern fantasy by any means. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah. No, the series, I can't stress enough how enjoyable the book series actually are. I'm waiting on the last two since I discovered that they exist.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was 4 and I was happy out with having the 4. But apparently there's 2 more. Nom nom nom.
Yes, and we have a whole other film to go back and rewatch because there's at least one more film in the series in Daywatch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, can't recommend this film enough, and with you also can't recommend the books enough.
Yeah.
They are fantastic.
They really are a good read. This is a really fun escapism.
Yeah.
The world is there, it's well established, and you're just following this one story through it.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a load built up off it, but you don't need to pay attention to any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's where the vagueness works very much in its favour, I think.
You get these hints at this greater plot or these greater movements within this world. But for your main character that you're following, they don't really...
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, whatever, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit.
Yeah, and it's not...
like, that's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, it might be really interesting, but Anton doesn't need to know it, so we as the audience don't get to find out.
Yeah, because we don't need to know about it. We're just following him on this mission of his.
Yeah.
So the way that was done really, really works for it. And there's a lot of like cloak and dagger, if you like your kind of intrigue and layers of plots.
Yeah. No, it is. I think there's something for everybody. Well, maybe not everybody, but there's something for most in this film.
Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to say about Nightwatch before we wrap up?
No, I'm good. Go watch it.
Well, yeah, the usual. Go watch it, and if you've seen it, go and rewatch it. That is now the Monorant's brief.
Yeah. Go rewatch it. Might enjoy yourself.
Well, I should hope they enjoy themselves.
Yeah. Or if you've never seen it, because it's one of those weird ones that every now and again you'll see it on streaming services, and it never, ever has a good description.
No, it doesn't.
And the cover really doesn't tell you anything because it's the glasses, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, well, check out, if you haven't seen it, go and check out a trailer for it rather than any kind of...
That won't help.
Well, the trailers are better than like the 2-sentence descriptions that you get on IMDb and stuff, so... Yeah. But yeah, no, definitely worth a watch, definitely worth a rewatch. And I'm actually quite looking forward to going and rewatching Daywatch as well.
Yeah.
Maybe for the pod, maybe just for myself, but it will definitely get a rewatch.
Well, definitely for Zabulon.
Oh yeah, Zabulon and his fantastic, fantastic hair.
Such good hair. I do love the way he's styled, and I love the way...
You said you had nothing else you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, no, I know, but then I just remembered Zabulon just being awesome. Yes,
Zabulon is awesome. But yes, guys, thanks for joining us this week. We will be back next week with our usual undecided film. Something in the Monorant's realm.
Yeah, God knows what that'll be.
But as per usual, if you want, you can head back and listen to our previous episodes, or you can head over and listen to Monorant's The Boys, where we talk everything to do with Amazon's The Boys. And if you want, you can come and find us on socials, on Twitter at rantsmono, on Instagram at monorants_the_boys, and you can send your own rants to monorantspodcast@gmail.com. We'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We are Science Fiction Remnant.
This is the Funny Science Fiction Podcast.
We are the Caribbean Science Fiction Network.
We are Monorats.
We are One Accord Level 2 Podcast.
This is Jesse from Sudden But Inevitable and Open Pike Night.
This is Sci-Fi.